Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to the Mario Cristobal Show. Joe Zagacki alongside my broadcast partner, Don Bailey Jr. And Don, it is our first Mario Cristobal Show. Should be very entertaining, very interesting. And here we go, the Mario Cristobal era.
Joe, finally, it's game week, and Coach Cristobal is going to be very, very excited. He's done a lot of preparation and poured in thousands and thousands of hours to get Miami ready for kickoff.
Canes open up with kind of a local opponent, Bethune-Cookman.
I love the opponent. We have a lot of fans that are from Bethune that recruit for Miami, and it's a state school, and it's going to be a great crowd at the Hard Rock.
And of course, he's going to want his team to be at their very best. He wants them to play a very sharp, hard-nosed football game.
He wants that every single day, whether it's at practice or whether it's on the playing field, and he's looking forward to this test.
Okay, Miami and Bethune-Cookman kicking off at 3:30 on Saturday at Hard Rock Stadium. When we come back, head coach Mario Cristobal joins the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mario Cristobal Show. Joe Zagacki alongside Don Bailey Jr., University of Miami head coach Mario Cristobal. Our first show of the year. We're all very excited, Coach. Thank you for being with us and ready to go, ready to kick this thing off. How would you assess where your team is in the program coming out of camp?
Well, there's been a lot of growth, that's for sure. A lot of development, a lot of different positions. So I think what guys realize most first and foremost, I should say, is that having a great offseason will pay off in being able to not only sustain a high level during camp, but to keep improving during camp and not being in survival mode. So we have progressed. We have really been physical in camp. I think they still want to hit each other, but they're ready to go and play against an opponent and put all that hard work to good use.
Coach, do you think the culture buy-in was as easy as you thought it would be? It's never easy, but these young men seem like they have bought into Coach Mario Cristobal since day one.
Well, I think the most important thing is that I hope it's as clear as day that this whole thing is not about me at all. It's about that you that we all wear proudly on our chest, on our sleeves, on the backdrop, right? And if you really love Miami and you understand what Miami is geared for, right? What it actually represents, what it can do for you, and in return, the experience that you gain from it, it's not that hard. You know, I mean, Miami has stood the test of time with certain processes. Well, those processes are now in place again. I'm thrilled to be a part of it, you know, and to give every ounce that I have to help these young men, these players, have the same experience that we got to have here, because it's a game changer, and then it creates game changers on your team, and you know how it goes from there. It's like nothing else in the country. So I just really, really grateful for buying in, like you had mentioned, to a process that was very different than what they're used to, and looking forward to seeing some really good results.
Along those lines, one of the things Don and I talked about during the camp, on the camp reports, a lot of it was about your blueprint. You had one in Oregon, you have that blueprint here. And that blueprint is proven to be successful, and it contains things like being disciplined and player development and recruiting. And that blueprint is something that you're going to stick with.
Well, without a doubt, I think the best thing I learned in going to Alabama was that what we did at Miami as players was being done over there. And so it reaffirmed and confirmed a lot of things that I already knew. It was just now supersized, right? Facilities, resources, a monstrosity of a staff, right? And being able to take that over to the West Coast and be a part of a great university, a great program that was coming off a 4-8 season, to see that thing take such a drastic turn for the better, through the hard work of so many people, the players, right, the administrators, everyone there. It's just, again, it's just the blueprint, you know, I mean, it's stood the test of time, and it continues to bring great results with it. So now that it's here, and now that we have invested in the program the way we should be investing in it, it's as exciting as it gets. I mean, every day you wake up just fired up to get here.
Coach, it's game week, but there's still competition out on the field. I mean, not every position has been solidified, and even once it is, that does not mean competition stops.
Without a doubt, it has been competitive, and to the point where, you know what, some of these battles still got to go into the week. We still got to take it in a one-on-one O-line, D-line reps. We still got to take it into the team run reps. We still got to find out at wide receiver and DB, you know, who can do what. so we can really field the guys that deserve to be on the field, but also guys that have earned it and are in the thick of it right now. That guys that have earned playing time, whether they're a starter or not, that they play. Because if they can play winning football for Miami, we're going to get them on the field.
One of the things about competition that I think we noticed, especially at the defensive line spot, in the past Miami would have some defensive linemen, but when it came time to rotate in, maybe they weren't at the same level. And now when you're rotating in, or however you rotate them, that competition has kind of kept it steady, kept the talent level steady.
Well, what we want to see is now guys create separation, right? We have more depth there, but now we want guys to play at an elite level with consistency, okay? Because if guys aren't separating, guys are just kind of all in a bunch, that doesn't make for a great team either. Competition has been good, but now it's time to crank it up another couple of levels. Let's go be elite, right? If we're competing, let's not settle and say, oh, well, we have other guys here that can also do the same. That's not it. What's supposed to be it is making sure that you do the absolute very best that you can so you can go and be the best player you can and push the guy in front of you or behind you to try to catch you so that we can truly be a great front. And we're getting there. We're not as consistent as we need to be, but we're pushing, and we're going to find a way to get there.
Coach Tyler Van Dyke, his stock keeps going up, and I'm talking on the practice field. The games will take care of itself. And with that comes more responsibility. And the highest compliment I can give him right now is he's handling it. Every day more is added as far as leadership goes or what's expected, and he seemed to just grab it and go with it. Mm-hmm. How do you continue to keep that going up?
How is making sure that the supporting cast is holding themselves to the same standard that Tyler is, right? Great players make other players great, especially if they're in tune with the same habits, right? If they're creating elite habits and processes to help them be the best they can be on Saturday. So, yeah, Tyler just continues to grow because he's a hungry, driven guy. He's self-motivated. He's a self-starter, and he's being Tyler. He's not being asked to be or do anything else than what he is and what he does, and that's contagious, in a good way. So we're seeing a lot of growth around him because of him.
What have you seen from his wide receiving core? I know they've been battling out there. What are some of the things that you like about the wide receivers? What are some of the things you want to see perhaps maybe improve here over the next week or so?
Yeah, well, early in camp, I was very clear in the media opportunities that we were inconsistent. There were flashes and then play that was not good enough because that's the honest truth. I mean, that's how we address it in a team meeting and whatever we do. And then over the last 4 days, there's been a tremendous step and tremendous progress towards what we want to be and need to be, right? Because, what our old coaches tell us, right? If you could do it once, you could do it every time. So stop messing with me. Do it right every time, or we're going to find someone else that can. So there has been growth. There has been progress. These last 4 days, honestly, have been really exciting about what it needs to look like. Now we got to build off of that. Now we go to a Tuesday practice, full bore game plan. It's got to show as we go against the defense because we still practice good on good, and it's got to show against our look teams the precision of the passing game, the timing of the passing game, the ability to get involved in the run game, right? All those big runs downfield that then only sprung by the big guys like Don Bailey. It's those receivers getting downfield and creating a block as well.
Coach, the secondary, give us an overview, and one guy I'll throw out is one of the older guys is DJ Ivey, and he's had a great camp.
He has. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about him. I remember recruiting him in high school and just being snubbed. I'm like, all right, I'll see you one day.
I'll get you.
I had to come all the way over here to get the opportunity to coach him. So you're looking at a guy that you just look at the physical traits. He's exactly how you want it drawn up. I mean, he's long, tall, explosive, athletic. His ability to redirect, his hips, ankle flexibility, you name it, he can do it. And then his care factor is through the roof, both for his play, his teammates, the community, his school, and then he grinds. He grinds at football, and that's he's got all the tangibles and intangibles, and I don't judge. I walk into a situation like this, and you want to make sure everyone's given a blank slate so they can and you eliminate any preconceived notions. And he's done nothing but excel and been just a great teammate and a great player. So we're looking forward for a big year for him.
I'm sitting here with two offensive linemen, and we haven't gotten to the offensive line yet,
Shame
or the
on
run
you.
game, huh?
Shame
How
on
is this
you.
possible? Coach, the offensive line, running the football, I know that's right in your wheelhouse.
Well, I often tell Coach Mirabal I'm his GA, while we're here. Best days ever was being a GA here. But anyways, the offensive line has really taken on the demeanor of a physical group. They're guys that have a lot of pride. They really do. They've spent a lot of time together. A lot of these guys are third and fourth year guys that have really been through some good times and some tough times, and they already had a pretty good bond. And I think over the course of the last 7-8 months, that bond has gotten tighter and stronger. Their belief in Coach Mirabal is really strong in what we do. We've had a very unique and high level system for developing offensive linemen. Over the last several years, the system has put an extraordinary amount of guys in the NFL, and their buy-in and belief from day one has been awesome. Their ability to communicate has improved dramatically. We're schematically very different. We lean a lot on the offensive line. And to be a great offensive lineman in this system, you have to be able to be a quick processor, be able to identify things. You got to play with your eyes wide open and make adjustments, but you got to be able to bend, come out of your hips, strike with a flat back, with your feet in the ground, and go low to high on people, because that's what it's going to take to move the line of scrimmage. And then in the passing game, you got to play with great balance and body control and just heavy, heavy, heavy hands that are willing to strike first so we can create a really good pocket for the quarterback.
Coach, historically, that room, the offensive line group, has always been filled with the smartest guys on the team. Smartest, most handsome, most successful. No,
I don't know about the second one, but
no, but when you go to stress the point of intelligence, is you do something here that I've never really seen done, except by you and Coach Mirabal, is you cross-train everybody. So, you can be playing tackle and be dropped in at center, playing guard on the left side and tackle on the right-hand side. And you have to be able to make your calls and execute the play. Right. Very challenging.
It is, but if you Coach Mirabal is the best in the business, and he is able to go ahead and pluck out the different techniques that have direct overlap at the tackle, guard, and center position, and then separate the techniques and fundamentals that don't, so you can rep accordingly, right? So the guys could understand, hey, this particular block as a right guard is the same as the backside block of the left tackle on this play, same technique, going a different way. To do that, you have to be extremely detailed, smart, and organized. And that allows you to probably take care of 65% of the different things they're going to have to do at different positions. And of course, the other part with timing and spacing at the tackle position, wide rushers, or a crowded zero nose when you're a center, those require different things. And Coach does a great job of mapping out. If you could see the grid for Indy periods, it's like, whoa, wait, we got 25 minutes, brother. That looks like about an hour's worth of work. He gets it done, and the buy-in has been tremendous. And he gives a great example, of hey, Penei Sewell was, the first, I think, lineman drafted, 6th overall, 7th overall. He was a left tackle, and he walked into camp and said, hey, buddy, you're going to right tackle. Like that happens. So it's not only for the benefit of the team, it's for their versatility and their value once they leave the University of Miami to be able to be the best player they can be and increase, the life of their career in the NFL.
All right, it's the Hurricanes and Bethune-Cookman. We'll talk about that matchup as we continue on the Mario Cristobal Show right after this.
If you train like a pro, then you should be treated like a pro. Much like the human body, our team of sports medicine experts moves as one to achieve a singular goal. Recover your game.
It's Miami and Bethune-Cookman on Saturday, 3:30 p.m. kickoff at Hard Rock Stadium. Tickets still available. Should be a great crowd there. However, opening game of the year, Miami and Bethune-Cookman. Coach, as you go into this opening game, Bethune, a lot of different transfers. Their roster kind of was a little bit in flux, but going to have some transfers, a lot of guys from South Florida. They probably aren't going to be intimidated, maybe a little chip on the shoulder. How do you approach this first game against Bethune?
Well, you stay the hunter your entire life. You never, ever get away from that mentality. I think the best thing you could ever get a player to understand in terms of opponents is that every single team has great players. Every team. Some have more than others, but everybody has good players. If you ever feel as a player that you're the only team that has good players, you're sadly mistaken, and you're fixing to be disappointed one day. So, and the other part about playing football is a privilege, and respecting the game and your opponents has to be at the forefront of everything you do. The University of Miami will always focus on being the best team it could possibly be. We have a lot to prove, a lot to get better at, and on Saturday at 3:30, that ball's going to be placed on the tee, and we have to play our best football every single down to be able to have success. And right now, there's one game and one game only in the entire world, and it's for us on Saturday against Bethune-Cookman. Their coaches have done a great job over a long period of time. They've had great teams. They've had really good players that have gone on to the NFL. Schematically, you never know what you're going to get game one, so you prepare for what you see and what they've done, but you also know they've been studying you, and you're getting dissected just like you're dissecting them, so you better have a good plan to counter when you get something that you haven't seen on tape and haven't prepared a lot for. You better have your answers dialed up, because as sure as that sun's going to rise and set tomorrow, it's coming.
Coach, let's hit special teams. Not much has been talked about through all the camp in the spring, but now it's game time. A lot of games are won and lost in that phase of the game in special teams. How have you worked on it? Let's talk about your punter and your kicker.
Well, Lou obviously has done an amazing job of being a leader, of making sure that guys understand the importance of special teams, creating urgency about our coverage teams. That's your team's DNA is typically reflected, right, by what you see on special teams. If a team relaxes in going after a point after touchdown, they're probably going to relax in other aspects of their game. So we're working really hard at driving up the urgency and detail and physicality of our special teams. But him and Andy and all these guys have done just a really good job of permeating the room with urgency. And the coaches, everybody's involved in the special teams. Every coach,
including you,
including myself.
That's right.
We coach it all together, because we feel that's the best way to be very specific and intentional about every technique and every fundamental as it applies to the guys. So we feel like we've had a really good camp, really good spring as it relates to special teams, and we're excited, to run down the field and make some plays.
Is the opening game in any way special for you, or do you want it to be more about Miami and the University of Miami and everybody that's surrounding it?
Well, I could care less about me. I'm just being honest. It never has been, never will be. I mean, when you choose to be an offensive lineman, you've given up anything, regarding the self, right?
That's right.
So I get it. It's all about team. I honestly, I want to be the last and smallest blip on the radar as it relates to this game. This game is about, first and foremost, our players and our university and our community. It's time that Miami does this. Because when Miami does this and surrounds itself around the Hurricanes, and the Hurricanes and embrace the community and everything around it, and our community is big now, and it stretches a lot more than Dade and Broward and Palm Beach County. It's national. Then special things happen. Momentum is created. We feel that it is being created, but it's time to go to work. It's you're not going to see a tweet, and you're not going to see a proclamation or a prediction. We just don't do that. We know that we have to get better, and step number one from a performance standpoint is Saturday at 3:30.
Coach, you've invested your life into getting to this point. This team's invested every ounce of their energy. It's time for our fans and supporters to come to the stadium. We'd like to fill it up every single week and make sure that they give these young men support.
Yeah, we want every single moment in that stadium to be extremely memorable. I mean, look at us. We end up playing at the University of Miami because our moments when we used to go to the Orange Bowl were that for us. Couldn't get enough of it. You know, they couldn't wait to get there for it to start, and when it ended, you want to hang out until they kicked you out and shut off all the lights. So, and that's what we aim to create. You know, that type of energy, that type of level of play, a team that could be trusted, a team that's going to perform and make people proud because of the way that we play and the way we handle ourselves off the field as well. So, all those things, you know, they come through hard work, and they're the result of a process, right? So the process, we've been grinding on it. We're always going to keep grinding on it. And hey, Saturday, let's go find out where the Miami Hurricanes are at, and really just excited beyond what words can describe.
Before I let you go, I did want to mention high school football season got underway, and I visited a few games, and the enthusiasm, you know, from the fans and the neighborhoods and the kids, probably some future Hurricanes there. I know recruiting's right in your big part of your plan, and there are some future Hurricanes out there playing right now, and you have a lot to offer them.
Well, let's call it what it is now. You know, the best football that was ever played at the University of Miami had a strong foundation of South Florida, the state of Florida, and then that national aspect as well. But it started locally, you know, and I remember that as clear as day, and it's another huge reason why I'm back. When Miami is on and it unites, right, and you see the amount of family at these games, right?
Yep.
Remember the family section?
Yep.
So I remember all my teammates used to mess with me because I had the whole family out there with croquetas and empanadas, you know, and they're like, oh man, there's a Cristobal family again. Here we go, you know, café con leche for everybody. But it means a lot. And you know what, every time we step on the field, the guys wearing the U, we have to play in a manner where it shows that this means more to us than it does to anybody we're playing.
All right, very excited to have it. It's all here. Can't believe it was December like a eyelash ago, and now here we go, ready to kick it off.
One long eyelash, buddy.
It's been great. Coach, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Go Canes always, guys.
University of Miami head coach Mario Cristobal, thank you for joining us. We'll continue right after this.
To have a truly great career, you need to be with a great company. Now's your chance to go be great at AutoNation. Go to jobs.autonation.com for endless career opportunities. Work at America's largest and most admired automotive retailer that's driving towards $35 million donated to fight cancer. For industry-leading benefits and a great work experience, visit jobs.autonation.com now and go be great.
We're all button pushers, double tappers, swipers, and now used car buyers. Go to AutoNation.com today. You'll see thousands of one-price pre-owned vehicles online right now. All your favorite makes and models, all quality inspected, all priced to sell with no hassles. Plus, we'll even pay top dollar for your car. Go to the AutoNation store near you or AutoNation.com. What drives you drives us. AutoNation.
Happy to welcome you back to the Mario Cristobal Show. Joe Zagacki, Don Bailey Jr., Miami and Bethune-Cookman coming up on Saturday. Should be a very entertaining day.
I'm excited, Joe. I'm excited about the fans turning out to support this game. I'm looking forward to the running game that Miami has been working on since Coach Cristobal arrived here on campus, and it's going to be an exciting day for everybody.
I'm very interested to see the discipline. That's not going to happen overnight, but they worked hard on that.
They have. They've had officials at every single practice. They've talked about it. They've attacked every reason why Miami was undisciplined and how to become more disciplined, and it's a big part of football.
Okay, the journey begins. We're ready to go.
Yes, we are.
All right, for Don Bailey Jr. and head coach Mario Cristobal, I'm Joe Zagacki. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time on the Mario Cristobal Show.